Hello viewers, welcome back to another one of my videos. Today we're going around Brands Hatch in one of the FIA Nations Cup races. Now earlier in the week I did one of the Manufacturers Cup races, but this time we're going to go in the Nations Cup. Now the Nations Cup is obviously about nationalities and you represent your country, so we'll be trying to do Great Britain proud here today around Brands Hatch as well. So we're in a British track representing Great Britain. We will do our very best, see how we do. I think I set a 1:28.5. Ideally you want to get in the 1:27s really if you want to set a quick time, but I didn't really nail qualifying too well, but yeah, there's the top 7. We're not going to worry too much about the rest, but I'll keep it in just in case. So then, let's get this race underway, starting in P7. Strategy for this one, I believe, is just the one stop. I think it's soft tyres all the way through. You can pit early and go on the mediums, but for me, I always like to start, kind of halfway through the race. Now you can't divide 17 by 2, so you're either going to have to pit on lap 8 or lap 9. I think at the time I'm just going to decide whether 8 or 9 is the best. But here we go, lights go out and we are off. On this one, I think fuel is quite important, so have a quick look. It says 9 laps, but as you go on it kind of increases. It tries to calculate how much fuel you'll really need, but that's an early indication then that you're not going to get to the end of the race with the fuel that you started with. So it's important that you try and save as much fuel as you can before your first pit stop, so that you spend less time in the pits filling up the car, because that's a killer in this game. Refueling is the one that really slows you down, so if you can get into the pits with more fuel, you'll have to refuel less and you'll get out quicker as well. So as we go on, I'll be keeping an eye on the fuel. It says about 10.3, 10.4. Goes up slowly, but then as soon as you put your foot down again, it goes down. Now get a good exit on this guy, go on the outside. However, he's getting a slipstream of the guy ahead, and it kind of just keeps him level with me. So I'm on the outside. There's not really too much I could do if he's got the inside of this corner. But as I go around, I kind of wish I was a bit braver, because he wasn't great through there, and I kind of get stuck behind him. So I probably could have made an early move if I was braver. Brands Hatch, I feel confident around actually. I feel like I'm pretty quick around here. It's a track that I really enjoy. It is very difficult to get right, and it is very punishing if you go wide, because there's just grass everywhere. It's not a very forgiving circuit at all, so if you do go off, you are going to struggle massively to get back on the track as well, because there's a lot of sharp corners around here. So as we just get to the end of lap 1, we haven't gained any positions at all. Stayed where we are for now, within just under 4 seconds of the leader, so it's not too bad. In the next couple of laps I will want to overtake this guy, because I feel like I said earlier, I have got the pace, so I should be able to take him. That first corner there is really, really difficult to get right. You want to hit the apex right in the middle there and have a nice exit. Cones for this corner as well, just brake after cones. Try and stick to the inside as much as possible in that corner. Don't go out too wide. As you can see here on the bottom right, I just adjust my brake balance to the rear, because I feel as if the front tyre is going to die out quite quickly. So if you change your brake balance to the rear, the tyre wear is going to be more heavier on the rears when you brake, because obviously you're going to brake harder on the rears. Therefore the front tyre shouldn't wear as much. So that is my objective on this race as well, is to look after the front tyres, because they are soft, so they are going to go off quite quickly. The first 2-3 laps they're fine, but as soon as you enter lap 4 or 5 you really start to struggle, because the tyres do go off quite quickly in this race. So tyre management is going to be key again, just like in any FIA race, because Gran Turismo, they're not lenient on tyre wear. They like to put it quite high. There's never a race really, well, I've never seen one where the tyre wear is just normal. They always seem to set it on about times 5, 6, 7, depending on the track and how high the tyre wear is, and how strong the corners are. If you're going to get a track like Monza, you're going to make the tyre wear higher, because you're not going to get too many corners to wear the tyres out really. You're going to get lots of straights, and that's about it, so the tyre wear will be higher. Tracks like these, there's a lot of tight technical corners, so they'll make the tyre wear just slightly lower. It's probably like times 6 or 7 right now. But yeah, they'll also decide whether you can have softs, medium or hards during that race as well. So on this lap, I'm going to try and get as close to this guy as possible, because I definitely feel like I've got the pace. He's not slow, not by any means, but I definitely feel like I've got the pace on him. Still within 4 seconds of the leader, so we're 3 laps in, 4 seconds of the leader. We'll start at 7th as well, and it was a rolling start. So the leader isn't really pulling away from us. I think we're doing quite well. Still 3.7, starting to go down to 3.6. Starting to get some personal bests going in there. Not purple, a personal best. The fastest lap was 1:28.3. That is a good lap during the race. So if we can get anywhere in there, I'll be very happy. Coming up to this corner here, you always just brake after the cones. Try and hit the inside of the corner there. Guy in 5th just goes slightly wide, and it causes the German in front of me to get the slipstream a little bit more. Hit that corner very nicely, so right on the back of this guy here. So I look to the inside here. Can we get this move done? Is he going to leave any space? I'm in the inside. He's nudged me off the track there, and I've nudged him back, trying to get back on, and he's gone wide. He's gone off, I think. That's a bit of a questionable move, shall we say, but I was definitely on the inside, so he should have left me a bit of space. If I'm being honest, you guys can decide whose fault that was in the comments, but yeah, I felt like I had the inside on that one. I went for the move, I had the momentum, and yeah, I just don't think he saw me coming. He's probably in this camera view here. We don't really have any sort of indication. You've got the little radars on the left and right of your speedometer, but I don't really look at that too much, to be honest with you. If you had the mini map on, you probably would have seen me a bit better, but I think we're all concentrating on fuel on this one, so we'll be having that on. I'm trying to save fuel a little bit. This guy goes terribly wide there. He manages to keep it on very, very well. Hit the corner nicely there. This corner here, when you go up on that curb, you can really take the mick on that one. The car seems to grip quite well. I want to make sure I get a good exit on this, so I've attacked the curb as much as I could. Got a good exit, so we'll attack him all the way up here. We've got the slipstream. Now, in these cars, they don't have as much brake horsepower as the others, so I feel as if the slipstream's not as strong as I try and go on the inside there, but he's not having it. He's completely and utterly closed the door on me, so good defending there. It's caused him to go wide. I try and cut him up on the inside there, but I run out of space. I've gone into the back of him, which is a bit annoying. So that could have been 5th place already, so that would have been a nice position, but no, we'll stay in 6th for now, so we'll stick behind him. Fuel-wise, I think we're doing alright. I think we're doing better than most. I haven't really done anything spectacular, but I haven't been over-revving in each gear, so I seem to be changing gears when I need to. We could have to do a bit more fuel saving, like there I've just changed a bit early, just to make sure that when we get in that pit stop phase, I have saved more fuel than the others and I can get out, because track position on brown patch is really important. It's hard to overtake on this track. It really, really is. So you can see a couple of laps when I overtook that guy, it was yeah, very, very questionable, but we'll see. I would certainly don't feel bad about it. I was on the inside, so yeah. This corner here, I don't know if you just saw, but there was a shadow. I just braked before that. That's normally where I brake, but now on lap 5, still on the same tyres, you're going to start feeling the tyre wear a little bit, so we're going to get slower and slower eventually. So if I want to, catch up with the guys ahead, I've got to overtake soon, because earlier, about 2 laps ago, the gap was 3.6 to the leader, and that's about 5 seconds. So we've lost over a second trying to get past this guy here. He's dropped off the top 4, so I don't think he has the pace right now. So we've got to make sure that we get past him at some point. So let's make sure we try and eye him up in the next lap or so. He goes really wide here. I gained a bit of time there. Nothing really too much to report on that one. He went wide, so he did well to hit the apex in the end. This section here, it's very difficult to get right. I feel like I was doing okay, but even when it going wide, he still managed to get a bit of a gap on me. That corner there, really dangerous. If you get that wrong, you are going to go onto the grass, and yeah, you'll be on there for ages. It's a nightmare to get out of. So then, we are nearly at the end of lap 5. We're just going to hit this corner here onto the semi-main straight. As you can see here, VLX Crazy going into the pits already, so he's gone in early. So I'm not really sure what the strategy is there. I assume he's going to go on the mediums if he wants to get to the end. If he's going to put softs on again, he's going to be really struggling near the end. So I can't imagine he'll make too many positions. Pitting now, it's not too bad. You'll have to go on the mediums. However, if you pit at the right time, you're going to get some free air, which is, going to give you some sort of advantage. You won't get the slipstream, but you'll be able to concentrate, keep your lines, braking points. When you're behind someone, sometimes you get guilty of just mimicking, someone's braking lines. This guy here gets really close, so I'm going to have to go slightly defensive here. I think this is again the case of getting stuck behind this guy in 4th now. We're just not really getting an opportunity to overtake him. So we've got to make sure, just keep with him, try and force him into some sort of error. Thankfully we get the slipstream up this straight, so the guy behind us can't overtake. Takes corner nicely again. This guy ahead, good at hitting the apex there, goes slightly wide, doesn't lose too much time here. This corner here, if you attack it too much, you're going to go slightly wide onto that sand and you're going to lose a lot of time. This corner here is, yeah, it's a nightmare. And he's going to do exactly what I mentioned earlier. There he goes. There you go. That's what happens, you see. If you just go slightly wide, you're going to hit that grass and you're just going to go off. And yeah, it's horrible as we see some guys fighting behind there. So here we go, lap 6 then. Just at the end of lap 6, and we're up to 4th place. So 4th place. So started 7th, went out to 4th place, which is nice. Obviously we've got that guy pitted early, so when we do next pit, I fully expect him to be ahead. We have got some fresh air now, but the tyres are really starting to wear off now. So lap 7, the next lap or so, you're really going to start thinking about going in the pit stop and changing your tyres, because if you pit on lap 8, you're probably going to get the undercut, but near the end of the race, you're going to have a big disadvantage because the guys behind you have 1 lap of fresher tyres, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you've been racing on them for about 8 or 9 laps, a lap extra tyre wear can make a big difference. So we managed to get some free air, start to pull away from the guys behind us, trying to pull in the guys in front, but it's quite difficult. They've got a 3-second gap in front of us, so it's going to be difficult to try and pull that away. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they start fighting. As I was looking up the hill there, I could see them fighting ever so slightly. I can see 3rd and 2nd, but I can't really see 1st. So it looks like 1st is pulled away ever so slightly. So that's going to be difficult to try and catch them. But these two, they're fighting quite a lot. So I think target-wise, we'll see if we can get 2nd. As we are pulling away from the guys behind, so we've definitely got the pace for this race. I think as well, if we had a decent qualifying, we definitely would have been up there. A podium would definitely be on the cards for sure. It is now, but it would have been a lot easier. So as we go around, about to start lap 8, no one's bothered to go into pit yet, so we're going to go around for another lap. You can see my tyres in the bottom left there. The top left of all tyres, because there's a lot of right-hand corners on this track, really starting to suffer. So nothing really happened on that lap. So we're just going to skip to the next one, as we are just about to enter lap 9. But I decided to go for the undercut.
I got a bad feeling about this.
And I forgot to refuel.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Oh dear, dear, dear. At this point, I start thinking to myself, why did my dad not just leave me in a tissue? Because I am such an idiot. Why, oh why did I do that? I think I was just in such a panic to try and change my tyres quick enough that I just pressed the do not refuel button as well. So now this race has gone from, right, let's save fuel and just, see what we can do, to just full on attack mode. So here we are, we skip the next lap, we go up on the inside here. This guy doesn't really leave us much space, so managed to get the move done, and then he just hits it back, so that wasn't very nice, but we've got the move done regardless, and now we're just going to go on full attack mode. We've just got to make up as many positions as we can as the rest. So the top 6 have now gone into pit, and I am now in the lead. So I've got some fresh tyres on, I've got a low amount of fuel, so let's just go around, see if we can set some purple lap times. Here we go.
Hello, cutie pie.
Very nice indeed, Arnie. So we go around again, tyre wear 4 temps off, but it's still quite quick. And then once we've essentially run out of fuel, we go into pits again. Let's see if we can actually not mess this one up.
One eternity later.
So then, 5 laps to go. Let's see what we can do, boys. So with just 3 laps to go, we've really got close to the guys ahead now. I can see 4th and 3rd quite clearly. Looks like 2nd place has got away, so is 1st. So let's concentrate on getting 4th place then. Just broke just after the shadow there. Tap the inside of this curb here, make sure to get a nice exit. Now the guys in front of me, they're going to have much worse tyres than I have because they would have pitted lap 8 or 9. Whereas I, because I'm an idiot, didn't refuel, I got the opportunity to pit again, which means I've got much fresher tyres. So you can see the tyres in the bottom left. They won't be anywhere near as warm as the guys in front, so we should be able to make some big gains on the guys ahead. Just half a second behind this guy now, closing in. We've got the slipstream, and by the end of this straight we are going to be very close. We go purple, there we go, so we're about 2 tenths quicker than the fastest lap I set earlier, which is 1:28 flat. So right behind this guy now. Let's make sure that we get this move done nice and early because I really want to concentrate on getting a podium position. So let's see what happens in the next couple of corners. Take this corner very well, tap the curb as much as I can. This guy's really struggling. Do I go for the move? No, I decide against it because I don't want to get in a fight on the inside of this corner and cause an incident. Goes slightly wide there. I'm on the outside. It's not a good place to be, so I back out of it. Decide to have a look on the inside, but again, not quite brave enough, so I've backed out of it. Just going to stick behind him here. Let's see if we can get some slipstream attack on the inside there. I think on this instance, I think he's just let me go. I think he's realised that I do have the faster tyres. I am quite a bit quicker, so he's just let me go. So thanks to the Frenchman there. We get that move done, and we skip to the next lap because nothing really happened on lap 16. We were just chasing this guy again, so let's just see, last lap of the race, let's see what we can do. We're just 1.1 seconds behind, fresher tyres. Let's see what happens. So go slightly wide here, then get on the inside nice and early. There you go, accelerate quite hard out of there, which is nice. Gain a little bit of time. Again, the tyres start to drop off a little bit, so you're not going to see any purple times in the first sector, and it was maybe in the second sector with the slipstream. 9 tenths now, so we've gained a tenth or 2 there. Just braking after the cones, attacking the inside, not as much as I wanted. Again, 4 tenths down. That you can really tell the tyres start to drop off. This guy ahead, unfortunately, he's got the slipstream of the guy in second now. So remember the guy in second who pitted very early. The strategy's really worked for him because he's in second place. So I don't know if he went on the mediums, but I reckon he would have done to get this far. If he's on the softs, then fair play. Even on the mediums, he's done very well. So it looks like the clear, having some clear spaces has really worked out for him. As I go wide there and I lose a bit of time, I lose about 3 or 4 temps, which is not great. And we don't have many corners left, so it looks like on this one, unfortunately, it's going to be a 4th place. But we've done really well, I reckon, to do as well as we have done, going for the 2-stop, which is not a recommended strategy at all around here. You should always go for the 1-stop. Yeah, it's a great recovery drive, I have to say. I think, considering where we were, to pit twice and got P4, really good, very happy. So here is the classification then. Coming P4, we got SRCOs in 3rd, VLX Crazy in 2nd, and BFR Nice in 1st place. So I really enjoyed that race. Good recovery drive. Happy to finish where I was. Fastest lap, clean race. Good amount of points in the FIA races, so very happy with that. Tell me what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe, and yeah, see you on the next one. Take care.